이번 특별 강연에서는요, 온라인 개방형 강좌, 무크의 현재와 미래, 그리고 3R 관점에서의 고등교육에 미치는 영향을 함께 짚어보도록 하겠습니다. 무크와 고등교육의 미래를 위한 새로운 3R이라는 주제로 강연을 해주실 아난트 아가르왈 에드엑스 창립자 겸 매사추세츠공과대학교 교수님을 무대로 모시겠습니다. 큰 박수 부탁드립니다. Please welcome to the floor to here. Yeah, thank you. At the stage. 다시 한번 큰 박수 부탁드리겠습니다. And the professor, please give us a lecture.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. 감사합니다. So it is my pleasure to have a conversation with you about the future of higher education. And I will be talking about the 3 R's for higher education. But before I begin, I thought I would give you a quick introduction to edX. Some of you who came to the conversation I had with Deputy Prime Minister Lee Joo-ho may have heard some of this. But the edX platform is an online education platform for the world. It brings together learners from every single country in the world and connects them to content and education from our partners. We have over 250 partners, universities like MIT and Harvard, Seoul National University, and companies like Amazon and Google that are providing content on our platform. We have a learner network of over 78 million learners who are coming and learning on our platform. We also have a platform for businesses. It's called edX for Business. And last year alone, over 900 corporations had their employees upskilling on our platform. We are all about outcomes at scale. Scale is important, and quality is very important. For our boot camps, just as one example, for our boot camps offerings, we've had nearly 70,000 students who've graduated from our boot camps. Boot camps like boot camp in coding, or boot camp in AI, or a boot camp in cybersecurity. Within 1 year, the boot camp learners, graduates, have incomes that have gone up by a median of $11,000. 77% graduation rate from the boot camps. So today, I'm going to now talk about what I see as the future of higher education. In the past, you all have heard about this. Our education system was about reading, writing, and arithmetic, the 3 R's. I'm going to talk about the future of education, where we have a new 3 R's for education. Learners all over the world are looking for these 3 things when they go to college. They're looking for relevance. They want their education to teach them skills that will help them become more employable. Relevance. They're looking for a return on investment. The learners are putting in 4 years or 5 years or 6 years in college, and they're spending a lot of money, and so they want a good ROI. It is interesting how even for education, both the parents and learners are looking for ROI, return on investment. And then the 3rd R is ramps, on ramps and off ramps. And then I'll explain what this means later. So let's start with the first R, relevance. Relevance means whatever the learners learn should be important. They should learn important skills. So the first thing learners are looking for in terms of relevance is important skills, relevant skills for the market. They're also looking for flexibility. They want to learn while they're working, so they're looking for flexibility. So some solutions for relevance, the first are, one is to teach learners in-demand skills. What are in-demand skills today? Anybody have a guess as to one of the most, probably the single biggest skill in demand today in companies? Anybody want to guess? What is the single most important skills employers are looking for today? Well, AI. Everybody's looking for AI skills, and I'll show you some data that shows that AI skills are really, really hard to find. So in-demand AI skills are very important, but at the same time, companies are also looking for human skills. The combination is very important. Human skills like critical thinking, communications, negotiation, these are all important human skills. The second thing learners are looking for in terms of relevance is they want it to be flexible. They want to be able to work and learn at the same time, and so they want learning to be available both part-time, they want to work for some time and learn for some time, and also available online. So these have become very important for learners. One of the most important and relevant skills today is AI. So edX conducted a survey of more than 1,000 C-suite executives, CEOs and C-suite executives. And what they are telling us is that 87% of them are telling us in their companies that they are struggling to find talent with AI skills. 87%. Six out of 7 CEOs and executives are telling us that they cannot find AI skills. And AI skills are completely disrupting business strategies at companies. So AI is one of the most important skills. So what are we doing to get these skills to employees in companies? So the first thing we did was we launched a master's in AI. So these are specialized masters. It's a master's in AI. It's 1 year. It's completely online. Remember, for relevance, it has to be flexible and it has to be an in-demand skill. So AI is one of those. So we launched a master's in AI with University of Texas, Austin. It's a top 10 ranked school in this field. And the tuition for that is priced at $10,000, very disruptively priced. We've also launched a large number of MOOCs. MOOCs are short courses available on the edX platform on AI and similar topics. We've also launched many AI programs for executives. Executives and CEOs are also looking for upskilling and learning about AI. How does AI change their business strategy? We have an executive education course from MIT Sloan School on AI strategies for business. We have an AI for executives from Oxford. So these AI programs and courses are very important for upskilling. Companies are also looking to upskill their whole employee bases for the future of work in the presence of AI. So we've launched a platform called edX for Business, and we've worked with many companies. Last year, over 940 enterprise customers worked with us on the enterprise platform, the AI for Business platform from edX. Companies like Google and GE and Netflix and others. And these companies are looking to upskill their learners, particularly in AI. We've also launched an AI Academy as part of our edX for Business, where companies can upskill their learners in all things AI. We've also launched edX for Campus. Universities are also finding it very hard to find professors who can teach AI. Just yesterday at lunch, I met with a professor at Seoul National University. He was starting a company. And AI is in such big demand that universities are finding it hard to find professors who can teach AI at universities. So we launched edX for Campus, which is a catalog of over 2,000 courses that universities can adopt for their students on the campus. Just as an example, one of the courses is AI for Everyone. We also have courses on topics like prompt engineering. which is how do you work with tools like ChatGPT. The second R is return on investment. The first one was relevance, important skills. The second one is return on investment. So here, learners all over the world are demanding that education be affordable. They're demanding that they get short programs. They don't want to spend 2 years or 4 years learning something new. They want short programs. They also want connections to employers. So some of the examples of solutions to these are disruptive pricing. Make it free or disruptive pricing. Learn while you earn with short micro-credentials. In the past, you had degrees. In the future, in addition to degrees, we will have shorter credentials like micro-credentials, like micro-masters and micro-bachelors. We can also offer online career services, and I'll talk about this in a second. So one example of disruptive pricing is we've launched a Master's in Public Health with Boston University. This is priced much lower than the campus degree, and there's significant ROI from programs like this, where learners are looking for shorter, affordable programs. We also have a number of boot camps. In our boot camps, learners have a graduation rate of 77%, and they are getting a $11,000 median salary increase after completing a boot camp. These are examples of ROI. You can also offer a lot of career services to learners, where learners can showcase their resume, get connection to companies, and also learn how to interview and write resumes and so on. So we offer a lot of these as part of our boot camps and degree programs, all online. So these connections to employers are very important to learners. So here's just a quote from one of our learners who said that, for the boot camp, who said that the value that the boot camp crams into only a few months of training. A boot camp is only 6 months long, and the learner is saying it crams a lot of material into 6 months and led to a good tech job soon after that. And as I told you earlier, the median salary increase is $11,000 after a 6-month boot camp. That's just an example of return on investment. And this quote comes from a student, a boot camp student who you can see up there. She was a former waitress in a restaurant, and now she works at Blue Prism as a digital exchange engineer. So online learning and short education can completely transform people's lives. The third R that I want to talk about is ramps on and off. So what do I mean by ramps on and off? So in the past, learners had one learning journey. They would start a degree, a bachelor's degree or a master's degree, and then complete that 1 or 4 years later. There was just one path. But learners are looking for multiple different kinds of journeys. Education should become like the subway system, like in Seoul, the metro system, where you can get off and get on the subway at many different points. You can take the shuttle down to the subway station there, get on, and 2 stops later you can get off. Education system needs to be like that, where learners, it's not like they start at one point and end at another point, but learners are looking to treat education like a subway system, where they want to be able to get on and off very easily for short durations if they have to. They also want interconnected programs with credit pathways. They want to learn a short program and get a credit pathway into a degree. So some solutions for these are, one is incremental learning, short learning and incremental learning, where learners want to try out various topics. So I'll show you some example of how learners can try out certain topics. Even when learners are working in a company, they can try things out. The second approach is for learning to become modular and stackable. A degree today is just one big chunk of learning. You start at one end and you finish at the other end. It's one big chunk. But learning needs to become modular, like Lego blocks, where you take smaller pieces of Legos and you can build bigger chunks of learning. And each piece of learning should have a certificate or a credential. So these kinds of modular learning is very important. Let me give you a few examples of this kind of modular, stackable learning, and where education becomes much more like a subway system. So one example of something we launched is called Try It's. So today you go to university or college to complete a master's degree, and there's no trial. You just go in and that's what you get. If you don't like it, you can't stop it. So we launched very, very short programs that are 10, 15, 20 minutes long on the edX.org platform called Try It's. Try It's are, you can go in and learn something very, very short to see if that is interesting to you or not. So before you completely sink 1 year or 2 years into a degree, you can try it in very short modules in a very flexible manner, and it's free. The second thing I talked about was modular stackable approaches that can be combined like Lego blocks. So on the edX platform, we have launched a sequence of modular blocks. I talked about Try It's. So Try It's are very short 5 to 10 minute programs that you can try out. We have courses, and then we have programs. Programs like professional certificates. We have programs like micro-bachelors. So a bachelor's degree is 4 years. A micro-bachelor's might be a few months. It's like a Lego block of learning. And the credits from that can transfer to a university. So professional certificates, micro-bachelors, micro-masters are examples of modular credentials. And these modular credentials can stack up to the bigger credentials. So for example, our boot camps can stack up to a master's degree, as I'll show you in a second. So learners are looking for smaller pieces of learning that can stack up to bigger pieces of learning. They want to try hybrid learning, small amounts of learning in different fields. Particularly people that are working in companies, they want to learn smaller pieces that can stack up to bigger amounts of learning. So I'll give you one example of modular stackable learning. So I talked about Try It's. So we have a Try It as a Introduction to Python Programming. It's a very short course that you can take and finish it in half an hour. And it gives you a very, very quick taste of Python programming. It gives you a taste to see what it looks like. If you like it, you might decide, okay, I want to do a data science bootcamp. Python is the programming language for data science and AI and many of the modern skills. On edX, Python is the single biggest search term after AI today. So you could do a data science bootcamp. A bootcamp is 6 months long. So a Try It might be half an hour to an hour. And then you could do a course. A course can be 4 weeks to 6 weeks. And then you can try a bootcamp. A bootcamp is about 6 months long. And when you complete it, you can go get a job. You get a new skill. And our partner, Southern Methodist University, SMU, will also offer credit transfer from the bootcamp. So if you decide to complete the bootcamp and then go and do a master's degree, the credits from the bootcamp will transfer to the master's degree. So this is what I mean by viewing learning like Lego blocks, where the Legos can stack up. The data science Lego block bootcamp can stack up into the full degree. So these are just some examples of how learning can be much more flexible and modular. Learners really appreciate this kind of learning. So you see Eric Westphal here. He's a learner. He leads global workforce strategy at Cognizant. And here's his quote. He talks about how the progressive skills pathway, where you complete a small skill, and then if you like it, you can learn more, like the one offered by our bootcamp programs, creates a really strong pipeline for nurturing talent. So companies like Cognizant will often fund fund students to complete certificates on edX, and then they will give them an interview. We have many companies doing this. In India, companies like Tech Mahindra, they will interview students who have completed MicroMasters. So the connection between work and learning is becoming more and more important, but it benefits companies because they can hire people with these skills, and benefits learners because they can learn quickly and showcase these skills to their employers. So in closing, I want to re-emphasize that as educators, and not just at university, but also in training at companies, we need to embrace the new 3 R's of learning. The new 3 R's are relevance. Education has to be relevant. There has to be a return on investment. And third, there need to be ramps on and off. And if you do this, then we will meet the learners and meet what they're looking for, whether the learners are in university or they are in a company. Thank you very much.